Hello, hello, hello. It's Knits for Sanity and welcome to my holiday celebration. This is day 12 of my Add More Zest 12 Days of Christmas Advent Calendar. So this is the last day for this. Oh, kind of sad. And day 12 of my Zesty Advent Diamond Painting. So yes, this will be my last unboxing of my Advent from Add More Zest. There was the 24-day, but that sold out very quickly. And I am very, very thankful that I was able to get the 12 days. It has been a lot of fun doing this Advent. And hats off to Add More Zest. They have done a fantastic job of putting together an Advent that was affordable and fun and filled with a lot of great practical ideas, some of which were, I thought, very, very clever. So thank you. And if this is something that you're interested in hopefully being able to do next year, this was their first year and I'm hoping that it was enough of a hit and worth it for them that they will do it again next year. Be sure to check out Add More Zest, YouTube, social media, Instagram, Facebook, as well as, of course, their store. And I will have that linked in the notes below. All right, so let's open up our 12th and final day of the Add More Zest Christmas Advent 2022. Look, guys, it is one of their gorgeous drill trays. Oh, look at this beautiful color. Oh, that is gorgeous. Well, we're going to use this today. Comes with your stopper. Pulls right out here. Pop that right back in. Oh, this is so pretty. I really, really, really wanted to get one of their drill trays, but when I was checking out with the Advent calendars, I did not dare spend any more time in the store. I just checked out really fast so that I could get the items that I knew I wanted. So I am very, very happy that this was included as the 12-day gift. Thank you so much, Add More Zest. I am ecstatic. And this is the drill tray that I will be using today. All right, so if you have not tuned in yet, what I do is I have covered each day with cover paper. And then for that day, I uncover that day and I begin working on it. So this is day 12. I'm going to rotate my calendar this way. And then I just share a little bit of a holiday story for a few minutes. And then I put you on fast forward so as to not bore you completely. And I come back at the end to show you the completed square. And that's just how this works. Pretty simple process, but it has been a lot of fun for me. I hope that it has been an enjoyable thing for you as well. And for those of you who have been joining in every day, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. So my video from yesterday, I was supposed to be talking about my favorite Christmas. But I ended up talking the entire time just about what Christmas was like for me as a kid. And next thing I knew, I had been rambling for so long that it was time to be done talking. I was kind of surprised that once I got started reminiscing about my Christmas as a child, that I just kind of kept talking. So I hope it brought back some good memories for you. I hope it helped you relive some of the better aspects of your childhood. Sadly, I know that that is not the case for a lot of people, and which is part of the reason why I also always encourage kindness at the end of each of my videos, and especially right now around the holidays. The holidays are notorious for bringing back a lot of hard and mixed emotions with people. So definitely keep that in mind when you are out shopping or just engaging with people at various holiday parties and whatnot. You don't know someone's background, and just try and be the encouraging support that perhaps they need. All right. So to also let you know, there will be quite a bit of background noise again in this video. With having to do this much taping, I am left with no choice but to create my videos when the entire household is still awake and home and moving around. So I apologize right now for the background noise. if you are familiar with my channel, you'll know that this is not typical for me, unless of course I intentionally invite one of my children to participate in a video with me. I often record these late at night when everyone else in the house is sleeping, and I know that some people don't mind the background noise. And thank you very, very much if you're one of those people who has commented like, well, no, I don't mind. I remember what it's like having small children, or I live in a really small house too. Thank you for that. I do appreciate it. But for me, I do try, and I prefer it when I am able to give you what I want to just be a very relaxing few minutes of video time. So hopefully after Christmas, I can return to doing my recording at a quieter time of day without dishwashers running and showers going and children playing in the background. And again, not that any of those things are bad. That's just part of daily life. That's the stage of life that I am in right now. But for especially those of you who maybe this is also the stage of life that you're in, being able to have a respite from it for a little while can be kind of nice. So I'm hoping that I can return to that in the near future. So anyway, back to my favorite childhood Christmas. And it's really a very insignificant year in so many ways. And I think that's part of the reason why I wanted to share what my favorite Christmas is. Because if you are a parent and you feel like, we just can't spoil our kids enough, we can't offer them enough stuff, that's not what this is about. This is a quintessential story of quality over quantity, time over stuff. And so, yeah, just remember the holidays, it's not about the things. So it was the Christmas of my 3rd grade year when I was 8 years old. And there is nothing that stands out to me gift-wise about this Christmas other than one present that I received that year. But otherwise, I don't recall anything else that I got. I don't recall, I don't remember that Christmas morning. I don't remember getting, my favorite, most desired, sought after gift for that season. But what I do remember is that afternoon, my dad's brother and his family came over. I also cannot remember if my grandmother was already staying with us at that time or if they brought her with us. I feel like they brought her with us, and maybe then she stayed for a few days. I can't recall. And if you're like, I don't know what she's talking about, if you want to go back and listen to my last video, I do talk about that a little bit to help give you some of that background information. But regardless, my aunt and uncle showed up, I think with my grandma as well as my great aunt. I had a great aunt who never had a family of her own. Her family was her nephews and nieces, and particularly my family. It was my mother, who was not her blood relation. This was my father's aunt, but it was my mother who did the most care for her at the end of her life. And I was very close with this great aunt my entire life up until she passed away 12 years ago. And actually, it was exactly 12 years ago on the 10th that she passed away at 95 years of age. So they came up with my grandma and my great aunt Selma and my 2 cousins, who are 2 and 5 years older than me. We usually would chat for just a few minutes, and then we would just launch right into gifts because they usually came about mid-afternoon. So we did our presents, and that year for Christmas, I received, I think it was from my aunt and uncle, the game Clue. If you do not know what the game Clue is, most of you, I assume, will. Excuse me. But if you don't, it is a a story game of logic, essentially, where you need to travel around a game board, which is, there have been all kinds of varieties, but classically it is a mansion, and you have to travel from room to room, and along the way you need to try and figure out who committed the murder, where they committed the murder, and what weapon was used to commit this murder. This game, because it is a game that does involve some of those early skills of reason and logic, it is not a game that is suited for young children. It's not till you're about 8 years old and you begin to develop some of these skills of reasoning that you're able to start playing this game. And so Christmas when I was 8 would have probably been the first year that I would have been capable of following along with this game. And I knew that it was kind of like an older kid's game, so I was really excited when I got it. But what made it even more amazing for me was that my older cousins, their names Brian and Randy, they were really excited to see that I had gotten the game. Which, of course, being the younger cousin, and I only have the 2 cousins on my dad's side of the family, being the younger cousin, I thought, oh, wow, this must be like a really cool gift if even my older cousins are excited to see that I got this game for Christmas. So we finished up the rest of our gifts, and then the 3 of us spent the rest of the afternoon playing Clue around our kitchen table. And it felt like we played this game for hours and hours. I mean, it probably was only a couple of hours, but it felt like it was forever, and we just had the best time. I had to learn how to play the game. Fortunately, for sure, my oldest cousin already knew how to play it, which helps when you have someone who already understands the game to be able to explain the game faster. I feel like you can jump in and start playing a lot quicker that way. And it turned out that I actually was pretty good at this game. I definitely was of equal competition to my older cousins, which naturally does a lot to boost the ego of an 8-year-old child. It just was marvelous. And so to this day, that is my favorite Christmas. And like I said, the game of Clue is not an expensive game. I mean, my aunt and uncle spent maybe $10 in 1990 or whatever year it was to get me this game, which even back then would not have been like an exorbitant cost for a Christmas present. And yet this is what stands out in my mind as my favorite Christmas. It was the fact that I was spending quality time with my cousins, and I, for the first time, felt like a true equal to them, which if you have older siblings or older cousins, I think that's something that you can relate with and totally, totally understand. And that was my favorite Christmas. That's it. So like I said, I mean, the story itself is really not all that exciting, but I thought it was kind of important to share just as a reminder for all of us, myself included, that it's really not about the stuff that you get or are able to give on Christmas. It is about so much more than that. It's about taking the time to do those things that, your kids want to be able to do. Playing the games with them that they want to play with you. My husband spends a lot of time playing video games that he doesn't necessarily like with our 7-year-old son, but it means the world to our son, and therefore it means the world to my husband. And that's it, guys. Just practice kindness is really what it always comes down to. All right, I am going to fast forward you, and I will see you at the end and show you this completed square. I'm back. Look at that. I think this is a cute little girl on a sled. That's what it looks like to me, wearing a scarf, little rosy cheeks, her hat. Super duper cute. All right, so that is day 12 already. Tomorrow will put us at just over the halfway point on our Add More Zest Zesty Advent calendar. I will see you then, and in the meantime, please practice kindness, which I talked about a lot this episode. And I hope that you have a wonderful day. I hope you're having a wonderful holiday season, and I will see you again real soon.